New York City, Boston, so many cities in the United States. I'm originally from Boston, and how I could not be aware of this history. It's very surprising, something to research more. And also, of course, the fact that that Great Britain has had such a strong role as an imperialist power, a colonizing power, certainly in the Indian subcontinent, it's a regional conflict between Ireland, and then there's also Scotland and Wales that have their own heritages and trying to work that out. But also there's a clarity to those issues, I think, because the history is so much more taught, despite what I just said about my being unaware of so much of it, that this becomes a very important model, I think, for people in the Middle East, and for people in the Indian subcontinent. Now, as we move to Ms. Cole's, and so one more thing I wanted to say is that Professor Lilly's presentation brings out the impact of partition on people's political rights and who has the right to speak about what the destiny of their country is going to be. What happens when, as I believe is also in the case of Kashmir, the decision that is made that Kashmir is going to be part of India was a fairly complicated and subtle issue. Not to speak about the issue of justification, but if one prince was loyal, it's these unresolved issues go on and on and on, and we see today, so Dr. Lilly mentioned, still today the issue of partition in Ireland hasn't been entirely resolved. And also the impact on culture, language loss, and this is something we can see in many regions of the world, and certainly an important issue in Bangladesh and in Bengal. Moving to Ms. Cole's presentation, the clarity with which we see the direct impact on people in ways that we can all empathize with, the impact on their health. And these are the people in refugee camps, based on your presentation, have no direct responsibility. They were not been involved in the decision that what is going to happen in the political sphere, but they are being impacted as a result of decisions that other people have made. It affects their blood pressure, it affects their mental health, it affects their metabolic function. It's going to impact the raising of their teaching, and it raises a very important questions about who takes responsibility for their care, and even the question of what issues get attention. Amnesty International pays more attention to other issues, but not to the issues of Kashmiri Hindu refugees in Kashmir. Mr. Nundy's presentation very clear on the impact on property. I mean, certainly that's something that can be lost, but his presentation also brings out questions about differential treatment, making us think about how partition inevitably involves differentiation. People in West Punjab that I've studied more, people in East Punjab, more water resources here, fewer water resources there, even those very concrete material issues, differential treatment by the Indian government of one kind of refugee versus another kind of refugee. These are certainly very pressing issues. And then sort of summing it up, being back to the United States, Mr. Johnson's presentation on how even in this society where we pride ourselves on egalitarian treatment of everybody has access to rights. We need to be able to trust the police. Still, the system does not work, and so an impact of issues that take place overseas in South Asia and elsewhere still find resonance here when we have something as tragic as the shooting in the Sikh temple in Wisconsin or other events that he spoke of. So I'd like to open the floor to. Did I miss something?
No,
Mr. Johnson. Oh, did I mistake his name?
It's okay.
Stevens. No, Stevens. I'm sorry. I kept calling you Mr. Johnson. I'm sorry. You're right. I did. Okay, so I think with that we can please go to questions.
Maybe
for
you can
about.
ask Liz to say a few words.
Oh yes, sure.